On on that note, Dave, do you find that finding a source of food is difficult for you? Yeah, I guess if people always underestimate the infected,
So, folks, we recently decided to do a poll on our Twitter about what people experienced in DayZ when they first started playing. Now, I'll tell you what I wrote for the poll. What was your first experience in DayZ like? Leave your comments below or vote in the poll, but we're wondering. And the poll's winner was embrace the challenge, is what most people said they did. Now, coming up in actually neck and neck, they weren't even neck and neck, they were even, was that they found the game challenging and frustrating. And only 8% of the police found had a friend to help them out. This was out of 87 votes. So if you voted in our poll, thank you. That was our highest voted poll yet, and it was awesome. So we're going to talk about the first impressions of DayZ. What actually made us want to buy DayZ itself? Now I'm actually going to let Jarl go for this because I don't think you actually bought DayZ from the get-go, did you?
oh yes, I did.
Okay.
I was a big Arma 2 player, and the team and I really got into it. I've always been a fan of tactical shooters, especially realistic tactical shooters. Arma 2 just fit the scratch. And then I found a server called Altus Life with Arma 2. Got into Altus Life. I was a cannabis farmer. You know, it's a role play server. Had so much fun. Got tricked into robbing a bank and realized, oh my God, role play with this kind of thing. You don't have to be good at gunplay, which I am, but that doesn't have to be every time you play an Arma game. And I loved it. And then there was a murmur back in 2012 about this mod that came out of nowhere called the DayZ mod. And I was hooked ever since. I even bought Standalone the moment it came out on early release. Tried playing that a little bit, but I went back to the Arma 2 mod until it fleshed out. But yeah, I was totally roped into DayZ just because I played Altus Life and realized that the Arma 2 engine had a lot more to offer than just tactical missions every day.
What made you jump from the Arma 2 mod of DayZ to the standalone version? What was it, just the community that you were a part of, or just your experiences like this standalone version is going to be way better, or what?
So a lot of it had to do with hype. For those of you who don't remember, early access to the standalone really started propagating right around 2013. I hadn't even been playing the DayZ mod for about a year and a half. And there were some things with the mod that I had some issues with, the bad driving and stuff like that. And I thought, you know, maybe there was a lot of us in the DayZ mod universe that were like, a standalone? Maybe it's going to be free of the bugs that have plagued Arma 2 with this mod. Maybe they'll be able to make it from the ground up. And the first thing that caught my attention was Dean Hall showing what the actual Chernarus look like, and them talking about having skyscrapers and other buildings, other apartment complexes, and just some of the footage that they had of what they were planning for the map based off of real world photography. And I was like, whoa, this is way more full of life than normal DayZ Arma 2 mod. I totally want to get behind this, and sign me up.
Red, what made you want to go into DayZ? Was it the mod, or did you go standalone?
No, I came in, it must have been, it was just pre-pandemic and was on console. So I started playing on Xbox. And so totally missed I was aware of Arma, but I'd never played on it before. So never really played the mod until later. It was just straight into DayZ Standalone and did, I don't know, maybe 6 or 8 months on Xbox. And just, you know, fighting my way through trying to survive until I switched over to PC. And then it was a pretty quick progression into playing and then starting to develop mods myself and kind of the whole path I'm on now.
Wow, that's very interesting. We all come from a different kind of aspects. Jarl's a true Arma 2 mod, player, got into DayZ, went to DayZ Standalone, went back, and then I'm a person who just bought it when DayZ Standalone first came out. Actually, our slide image is actually from one of my oldest Steam pictures I ever had, showing my friend I got DayZ to actually boot up because that game crashed a lot. What I think DayZ could do to help new players is kind of what they have kind of started to do. Those new helpful hints in this last patch, DayZ 1.20, where in the loading screen you had some more hints. I would like to see more of those. But you know what I would like to see more of these things? I would love to see more of these situations inside the escape menu, or I would like to see possibly a small dongle or button inside of the player inventory. Now, this can be in the bottom left hand of the screen or the bottom right, top left, or whatever, somewhere where it's obscure. But when you have those loading screen tips, it can be all like, hey, new to DayZ, don't forget to click the question mark in the lower left hand corner of your inventory screen for more helpful hints. It is key for them to give hints. I am totally for hints. I honestly think spawning with bandages, I'd rather go back to rags. I'd rather take away the t-shirt, give them back a hoodie, which has medium insulation instead of low insulation, and I would rather sacrifice the bandages for rags and take the t-shirt and give them a hoodie back.
My suggestion's twofold. I want immersive tutorials. I want there to be medical guides in the hospitals. I want there to be survival guides in police stations and camping sites. I think that would be something that you could look at, like in Forest, the Forest and the Sons of the Forest. They have that one survival guide. Have it built in game. Or if you die, while you're at your death screen, have an explanation. You died of this illness, and have a scroll down that they can read of common illnesses, how to treat them. Let them read while they're dead so that when they respawn, they have that better education and they can move on from that. I think having a help menu in the game is awesome, but I think you're going to get people who are like, I was looking at the help menu and I got shot. So incorporate it into the game in a mechanics wise. Is Bambi killing a real issue? Not as much as it used to be. Bambi on Bambi violence is the big problem now.
You know, and this part is for us to be giving possible solutions / improvements to DayZ. Now, whether or not these solutions or improvements are actually possible, like Jarl even pointed out, that my question mark or in-game guide could be problematic because people die or whatever and they get mad and blame the game, that is definitely a fair criticism of that. But the reality of the fact is us as players, streamers, people who talk about the game, we can suggest possible ideas, and DayZ can take it and be all like, you know what? I actually agree with Jarl. That's actually a possible problem. And somebody's all like, well, what if we do this and this and this and this? And they're all like, hey, that's cool. But remember, folks, the game doesn't have to be incredibly easy because we add in an easier experience. We just want to make sure that player retention stays up high and we keep bringing in new players. Thank you for coming by, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. We really appreciate it. Also, don't forget to check out Jarl of Goats on Twitch when he is live, and Red Falcon and his amazing work in the DayZ community. Without these two, the show would not be the same. I hope you all have a wonderful day.